Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. In the last episode, we went ahead and ran the Keeper of the Lake dungeon. We climbed the hulk of the Imperial flagship that is entwined by the rotting corpse of the ancient worm Midgardsormr. We got to the top and ended up having a battle with Midgardsormr's ghost or something. We won that battle, and then we had a conversation where Midgardsormr mentioned something about some sort of arrangement that he had. I'm guessing with Hydaelyn. I'm not 100% clear and can't quite remember the exact story elements of that. But he has formed himself into a small dragon by absorbing, I guess, my blessing of light, so I no longer have that anymore, and we'll see how that goes. And now he's following me around as a minion. It's one of my minions, but he's kind of observing things as we proceed through here. So we will see what comes of that as well. But we are back at the Rising Stones because Moonbrita has potential solution to our plans to try to destroy one of the Ascians. So we are going to work on that. The next quest is over here, Ether on Demand. So let's go ahead and have a chat with Moonbrita and see what is up. All done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the solar, shall we? Oh, back into the solar. I was just there. Okay. Alright, here we are.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white Eorzea has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White Eorzea can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white Eorzea cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the great river of ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arcians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thancred and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Y'shtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white Orsite.
Thank you, Eorzea. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Okay. A fairly long cutscene there, but we apparently have a plan. So, let's head to Northern Thanalan, deal with the Imperials, so that we can conduct the tests on the corrupted crystals there, and see if the plan will work. Alright, so... oh, we need to actually just leave here first. We can... Alright, Alphino, what's up? Alright, 'twould seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The 4th have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wildred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ul'dah. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. Your duties take you to Northern Thanalan, do they not? Yes. We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Fulhamin travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. How extraordinary that my little Asilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? Alright. Enjoy your trip. Alright, so now we head out to the Cerulean processing plant in Northern Thanalan and get a briefing on the situation and what we're going to need to do there. Alright, here we are. Oh, and I still have Midgard's armor out. You know what? I'm gonna keep it out. Are we in here? Or not? Oh, there's Wilred. guys. Commander Leveilleur sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your towns is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand, the Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling out Ralban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time, and I think it's time we speak with Lieutenant Edelstein to finalize our counter strategy. Sergeant Yasurugi, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during the Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times. Are the Garleans on the move then? Not as such. The civilian draftsmen have, however, come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design, no less. Found inside the plant, you say? But how? We've had guards stationed around the perimeter day and night. 'Tis likely the plant was infiltrated long before the Braves arrived. Master Thancred, are the Scions come in force then? All who could be spared, yes. Now, there are likely more of these Imperial explosives about the place, so I suggest we spread out and conduct a thorough sweep of the compound. Considering the volatile nature of the ceruleum, allowing even one such device to escape our search may lead to us enjoying an uncomfortably close view of a rather spectacular explosion. Right then. Pass the word to the fourth. What exactly should we do with these crates? Shall we find them? Bring them here to me. Carefully, mind you. My sappers will render the devices harmless, as they did with the first batch we found. Very well, let's get started, shall we? Good old hunt and search mission. Okay. So, search for inconspicuously suspicious items around the ceruleum processing plant. And we have 4 of them to find. Alright, so we're looking for anything around the area that is twinkling, like that, over there. Inconspicuously suspicious item. And I am thinking that we're probably going to have to poke around every nook and cranny of this place to find these things. Because that's just what they like to do. Ah, there's another one. Can we actually go in there? No, we can't. Can I get through there? No, I cannot. There we go. All right. Any others? Hiding around behind things? Off in a corner somewhere? Somebody fishing? Let's see. nothing in obvious plain sight. Alright, so... where would it be? Already found one over here. Doesn't mean there can't be a second one around. Well, looks like Papalimo found one, but that isn't one of ours. Alright. Let's see. The actual orange circle, I think, needs to be our guide here. Make sure that we actually search all the way out to the limits of where that circle reaches. Alright, so it's not going to be outside the gate, or will it? No. It'll be inside. Now, did I see something out of the corner of my eye? No. Might be inside of a building. Let's give that a quick check. Nope, don't see anything there. Got the one up there. Nothing outside the gate. Alright, let's head inside the building again. Nope, does not appear to be anything in here. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and hunt around some more. I'm going to pause the recording while I do that because I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to find it. Alright, I'll be back as soon as I do. Okay, well, I found it. Coming back up here again. It is up there. Now comes the question of how does one get up there? So let's see if we can find that. I think this is our path right here. Alright, inconspicuously suspicious item. Last one. Alright, deliver the inconspicuously suspicious items to Edelstein. Should you discover any containers that appear out of place, then hand them over to me. My sappers will determine whether or not these objects are explosives, then disarm them should they prove to be so. Well, we found a bunch. There were 4 more of those blasted things. I'll have our engineers disassemble them at once. Fine work as always, Sergeant Yatsurugi. The entire compound has now been scoured from top to bottom, so I should hope that that's the last we've seen of these explosives. Our troubles with Castrum Meridianum, however, are far from over. Excuse me. Scouts have returned with news of movement on the front. Alright. We've been keeping a close eye on that Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They have decided to take to the field and meet this assault head-on. Pray report to Lieutenant Alian, and lend your much welcome strength to the counteroffensive. Sounds good to me. Alright. There's Alian. Glad to have you with us, Ayame. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bid you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at our disposal, the 4th should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The 3rd was getting restless, holed up in Ulda, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plan's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We have enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye. It would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the 4th and give battle to this main column. You're with the 3rd then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyuhase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Alright, so speak with Yuyuhase. Alright, he's just outside the walls. I'm guessing this is probably going to be an instance battle, but we'll see. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all of these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. Aye, this will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. I am an army unto myself, aren't I? Alright. Looks like it's not going to be instance. So let's go ahead and bring out the Chocobo. To provide a little extra firepower. And there's our first target. Make sure we're not in defiance. Hi, guys. Paralyzed me. Stinker. Alright. That one's down. On to the next. No need to fight any of the other guys around here. I'd rather not get the Earth Sprites involved. So we're going to deal with these guys one at a time, rather than using the overpower. Alright. Done. And let's report back to Eorzea. Piece of cake. You seem grim, Sion. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitek horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Alian know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Alright. Back to Edelstein to report our success. Alright. Sergeant Yatsurugi, what news of the Garleans? Well, they're dead. Their raiding parties are no more then? Excellent. The Amagina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Alright, so what's next? Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Moonbreeda's well-being. Okay. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Elian has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Rogaden lady with the large axe, it would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thailand is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you would check in on her before you continue on your way. Okay, so where is she? Over there in Delamad's Talons, okay? Oh, she's messing around with the corrupted crystals. Okay. Let's hope that Araman does not decide to crash the party. You know what? I'm just gonna kill it. There we go. Alright, Moonbreeder.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know, as Eorzea never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
Yeah, she's got the same axe I do. Or the same axe that I have glamored on top of my normal axe.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
Hanassian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan. Keeper of knowledge. Seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of Lahabrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Alright, so Nabrialis, another Ascian we're going to have to deal with. Oh, and then Arrowman is back. Out of my way. Alright, so we need to return the Rising Stones, but I think that we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. So Nabrialis is trying to head back to the Rising Stone and take the broken pieces of Master Louisoix's staff, which has been hanging on the wall behind Minfilia. So, hopefully we'll get back there in time, and maybe we'll be able to try out this whole wiping out an Ascian thing. We'll see. Alright, so, ended here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.